What if perfect knowledge of the Torah could be obtained through a secret ritual? What if a heavenly prince could be summoned to reveal forgotten teachings, hidden laws, and divine mysteries? Ancient Jewish mystical literature preserves descriptions of such a practice. It was known as the adjuration of the Sar Torah, the Prince of the Torah. The practitioner did not merely study more intensely. He attempted to bring a heavenly power down from the divine realm so that the secrets of the Torah could be revealed. This tradition stands at the mysterious intersection of scholarship, mysticism, and magic. The Sar Torah tradition belongs to the world of the Hekhalot and Merkavah texts. The Hebrew word Hekhalot means palaces. These writings describe heavenly temples, angelic guardians, divine names, and the throne of God. Some texts tell of mystics who attempted to pass through the heavenly palaces and reach the divine throne. This tradition was deeply influenced by Ezekiel's vision of the heavenly chariot. But the Sar Torah text presents a different kind of mystical encounter. Its central figure does not ascend through the heavens. Instead, heavenly knowledge descends to earth. The goal is not simply to see the divine throne. The goal is to acquire supernatural knowledge of the Torah. The Sar Torah is a heavenly prince associated with the revelation, preservation, and mastery of the Torah. One tradition identifies this angelic figure as Yefafiyah, a name suggesting beauty or splendor. According to the mystical narrative, Yefafiyah instructed Moses during the revelation at Mount Sinai. The Torah was therefore not imagined as a text transmitted without heavenly mediation. Behind it stood an angelic guardian who possessed its deepest secrets. The Sar Torah ritual claimed that this heavenly prince could be invoked through fasting, purification, sacred names, and carefully performed adjurations. If the ritual succeeded, the practitioner would receive extraordinary intellectual powers. He could remember what he studied. He could understand difficult teachings. He could master legal traditions and penetrate the hidden secrets of revelation. The text presents its teachings as an ancient oral tradition. Rabbi Akiva is said to have received the secret from Rabbi Nehuniah ben Hakana. Rabbi Ishmael then reports the teaching in the name of Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Eliezer the Great. These famous rabbinic names give authority to the narrative. But the work is not a simple historical report. It creates a sacred chain of transmission connecting the mystical practitioner to the greatest teachers of the past and ultimately to Moses himself. The message is clear. This is not presented as a newly invented ritual. It is portrayed as an ancient secret preserved by an elite circle of sages. The opening of the Sar Torah text makes an extraordinary claim. From the time the Torah was given until the construction of the Second Temple, the Torah had been revealed, but its full glory had not. Its beauty, majesty, power, authority, and splendor were not completely manifested until the final temple was built and the divine presence entered it. The text refers to the Second Temple as the final temple. This creates a remarkable theology of revelation. The giving of the Torah at Mount Sinai was not the end of the process. It was only the beginning. According to this mystical vision, the full magnificence of the Torah became accessible only when the Second Temple was built and the Shekinah, the divine presence, rested within it. The revelation at Sinai was therefore incomplete. Additional dimensions of the Torah still waited to be disclosed. The narrative then presents a surprisingly bold dialogue between Israel and God. The people have returned from Babylonian exile. Jerusalem lies in ruins, and the temple must be rebuilt. But God also commands the people to continue studying the Torah. Israel responds with a complaint: "You have brought many troubles upon us. Which responsibility should we take up, and which should we leave behind? You commanded us to build the temple, but even while building, you told us to study the Torah." The people are exhausted. They are expected to rebuild the sacred center of the nation while simultaneously maintaining a life of intensive study. The remarkable feature of the story is that God does not reject their complaint. God listens. God admits that the exile created an enormous interruption. During that period, the divine voice longed to hear the words of Torah spoken by Israel. God also acknowledges responsibility for the catastrophe. In the text, God effectively says, "You have rebuked me. You have acted correctly, and I accept your rebuke." This is an astonishing image. Israel does not stand silently before divine judgment. The people question God, and God accepts their criticism. The relationship between God and Israel is presented as a genuine dialogue. Exile caused suffering to Israel, but it also deprived God of the sound of Torah rising from the human world. Now the relationship must be restored. God tells the people to continue building the chosen house while ensuring that the Torah never leaves their mouths. Then God declares that this is a unique moment of divine favor. The people are invited to present their requests and deepest desires. The divine treasuries lack nothing. Whatever Israel truly needs can be provided. But what do the builders desire? They do not ask primarily for wealth, military power, or political independence. They ask for Torah. God declares, "I know what you seek, and my heart recognizes what you desire." The people want abundant Torah. They want a multitude of teachings and traditions. They want to ask questions about Jewish law and uncover countless mysteries. They want to increase Torah like mountains and multiply legal traditions like the sand of the sea. They want academies established at the gates of their tents. They want the ability to distinguish between what is permitted and forbidden, pure and impure, valid and invalid. This is a vision of unlimited knowledge. Torah study becomes an expanding universe in which every answer creates new questions and every revealed secret points toward another mystery. The promise goes beyond knowledge. The text speaks of a crown or sacred seal that grants authority to those who possess it. Kings will bow before them. Rulers will show them honor. Their reputation will travel across the world and over the seas. Their faces will shine like the rising sun, and the space between their eyes will glow like the morning star. If Israel receives and properly uses this secret, ignorance will disappear. No uneducated or foolish person will remain among them. The crown is not simply royal decoration. It symbolizes mastery of the Torah and the authority that accompanies sacred knowledge. Political sovereignty is replaced by intellectual and spiritual supremacy. The Sar Torah tradition contains practices that modern readers might describe as magical. The practitioner uses divine and angelic names. He performs ritual preparations. He recites adjurations intended to compel or invite a heavenly power to appear. The goal is practical and transformative. The ritual promises memory, understanding, authority, and access to secrets that ordinary study cannot provide. But separating magic from mysticism is not always simple. For the authors of these texts, sacred names were not meaningless spells. They were expressions of the hidden structure of creation. To know a divine name was to understand something about the power it represented. The Sar Torah ritual attempted to connect human learning with the supernatural source of the Torah itself. Many Merkavah traditions describe an individual journey toward the divine throne. The mystic passes dangerous angels and guarded heavenly gates. But the Sar Torah narrative follows a different direction. Here, the central movement is downward. The Shekinah descends from heaven to dwell in the temple. The Prince of the Torah descends to reveal divine knowledge. The secrets of heaven enter the human community. The mystical encounter is therefore not merely a private experience. It establishes a center of sacred learning on earth. The rebuilt temple and the community of Torah scholars become the place where heaven and earth meet. Although the story is set during the construction of the Second Temple, it may reflect the concerns of a much later period. By the Talmudic era, powerful centers of Jewish learning had developed outside Jerusalem, especially in Babylonia. The religious importance of Jerusalem had declined. Teachers and mystical groups in the land of Israel could no longer assume that they controlled the interpretation of the Torah. The Sar Torah narrative answers this crisis by imagining Jerusalem as the divinely chosen center of universal knowledge. From Jerusalem, legal teachings and sacred secrets would spread throughout the world. Kings and rulers would bow before its scholars. The story transforms the weakness of the present into a promise of future authority. The Sar Torah text is not only a manual for summoning an angel. It presents a theology of knowledge. Torah is not merely information written in a scroll. It is a cosmic power possessing glory, beauty, authority, and divine energy. human effort remains essential. The people must rebuild. They must establish academies. They must study, debate, and interpret. But human effort alone is not enough. True understanding requires revelation. The Torah must descend from heaven again and again. The mysticism of the Sar Torah reveals a world in which study could become a supernatural act. Sacred names opened the way to heavenly knowledge. The Prince of the Torah connected Moses, the ancient sages, and later mystical practitioners to the hidden source of revelation. Most remarkably, the text imagines a God who accepts Israel's criticism and responds to its desire for knowledge. The people do not ask for an empire. They ask for mountains of Torah, countless traditions, legal understanding, and access to divine secrets. The Sar Torah therefore transforms knowledge into power. Not military power. Not political sovereignty. But the power to interpret revelation and bring the mysteries of heaven into the human world.